So here I am, my girl, KarynRose Burning. And say, hey, Karen.
Hi.
This is so corny. Anyway, so this is our next installment of the Back Fitness Crew Spotlight, where we highlight different crew members who are doing really cool things. And Karen is a multi-layered person who has been involved with Back Fitness. First, I was introduced to Karen through a friend, and she started coming to my Zumba class in Harlem. And then I started training with Karen, and she became part of our Back Fitness crew, one of our pilot inaugural crews. And then Karen's had great results with that program, which incorporated nutrition, exercise program, and stress management. And because of that, like, Karen really became excited about the company and the brand. And so now Karen, public, so Karen is a client, Karen is a friend, and Karen also obviously is involved in Back Fitness. So we're super excited, and I wanted to do a spotlight on Karen because her fitness journey, I think, has been very interesting, and I think very relevant to a lot of folks who have struggled with weight. I struggle with weight. A lot of you guys have struggled with weight. And I think hearing Karen's journey and having her share some of her thoughts about it will be really helpful for everybody else. So Karen, talk to us about your journey from like not so cool to mad cool today. I had to work that into the conversation. Okay. I had to.
It's definitely been an interesting journey. I was a chubby kid. I've probably been chubby the entirety of my life. I've had like moments of like on the edge of slimness.
Just right there.
And then I freak out, which, anybody who's read part 1 or part 2 of the KarynRose story has, read about that. And I've definitely been close enough and been very nervous about what that meant. And I think one of the things about Back Fitness that really got me involved was the social part of it and the talking about behavior and the fact that there was space to say, this isn't just about food, you know what I mean, or how I use it. It's, about how I use weight and how it makes me feel and how you navigate through that.
So wait, you know what? I just want to just stop and dig into one comment that you made, which I thought was really, kind of glossed over, so I want to dig into it. You said that you were, you danced with, flirted with getting thin, and then got scared. Most people would be like, yeah, I'm thin, woohoo. But Karen, you're like, no, I freak out, I'm gonna go eat chicken. So explain that to us.
People treat you different. Like, life is different. As a chubby girl, you tend to be safer for people. It's easier to digest if you are chubby and funny. It's all over the media. Women of color who are heavier are funny. You're funny and cute in the face, and that's kind of the zone that you're in.
Innocuous.
Yeah, and completely safe for everybody's consumption. When you are a curvy woman, that's the other part of it, is that I was always shapely. But when you are a curvy woman, particularly curvy women of color, it is gross. It becomes this overly exotified, really uncomfortable place to be. Because like if you're not a video girl, it's
so you're like Gucci.
Yeah, I remember, being 13 and having, people comment on the width of my hips. It's like, ooh, look at how she looks now. And I'm like, my hips weren't into no business, you know what I mean?
You're like, we haven't even begun.
Right. So,
y'all don't even know. Okay.
But I mean, I got hips at 13. I got boobs at 12. And what I looked like was a topic of conversation with my parents. And it was, a situation where you can't go to friends' houses with brothers because of what you look like. And so I became very uncomfortable with being shapely. And I moved into sweatpants in college because, the catcalling out the window at the girl, you know what I mean? So it was easier to be heavier because, I do have a younger sister. And so, I tease her that she's the litmus test of what the shape will be. And my sister is busty and can be in the slim waist, and it's, and she's covered most of the time, you know what I mean? But it's like, I know what the body looks like. And it made me uncomfortable because it's like, when you have that, and there's this attention, and then also, you know, women treat you differently because then you become a part of the rat race in a way that you aren't when you're their chubby friend, because you're safe to them and they don't have to compete with you. So I had always gotten to that point and gotten very nervous.
Right.
And like, I remember I was actually speaking to my nutritionist and I said, I saw 4 pounds once before, 4 pounds over what my goal weight is now. I saw it once and I saw it and freaked out until I gained 15 pounds so I was comfortable again.
And the freaking out is because in your mind, being, you know, sexy and feminine and, you know, having that attention sort of cannot coexist with being smart, taken seriously, capable, and all that stuff.
I think that's what it was for a long time. And then, you know, when I was 25, I started meeting all these really smoking hot, really smart Ivy League women. I'm like,
Right.
where were you people when I was 16? It would have been so much more helpful. But, you know, they
They're out
really,
there.
and I mean, and they really changed my
Yeah.
mind. And, you know, they really wore, you know, latex spandex dresses at night and, you know, suits in the daytime because they could, because, you know, the idea of being smart and attractive, you know, could coexist in a way that I'd never
Right,
seen
right.
before. I always thought you had to choose as far as personality was concerned. And, you know, the reality of it is, like, I have this body. I am getting older. I am shaped a certain way. I look like this. And I think that was the thing that kind of kept me going with Macro Fitness. I did have, you know, a situation, you know, once I lost 20 pounds. And
I know, we had a conversation.
Yeah.
We had a conversation at Chipotle. Because Karen, it was weird. We had been, you know, of the crew members, I would say, I mean, everybody has been involved with the crew and active and everything. With Karen, I call her Dr. Data because literally every week she'd be like, I've lost 2 inches here, 2 inches there, 3 inches there, 2.1 inches there. And, you know, for some people having, you know, counting data, it's just like actually demotivating for them, but because sometimes, like, depending on a number of different factors, you could actually be, you know, your weight could actually go up a couple pounds or whatever. But Karen's like, I need to know, it needs to be, you know, so she was very on top of it. And then during this particular week, like, Karen was kind of like slipping a little bit, like not quite as on time, not quite, and I was just like, well, what is going on? And so then we met, we had like it wasn't even, I don't know what it was, we were actually meeting to talk about just macro fitness stuff in general. But we met and Karen was like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, what's happening? And she's like, I'm getting thin and it's freaking me out. And I'm like, okay, I thought that's what we were all trying to do here. And then she explained this to me because I had my own weight struggles. And quite frankly, I was always, especially as a kid, when I was going through my eating disorder, I was always trying to get thin. And so I've never understood this, and I've never been curvy. So that kind of went away. But, so I didn't really understand what you were talking about, but then as you explained it to me, and then, you know, really being able to, so sometimes when you articulate things and get out of your own head and kind of, you know, talk about them with somebody, not to say that your ideas weren't valid or correct or whatever, because they're true to you, but I think articulating them to somebody else gives you perspective on it. So I think we were able to kind of, you know, talk it through so that we could, like, get back on track and be like, and you could realize that that was actually holding you back from your life, right? I mean, because just because I was like, well, first of all, if anybody says you get skinny and your girlfriends are like talking about you or whatever, then like, who are these chicks? They're not your friends anyway, so you just get them off the list. And then for everybody else, you know, your friends, your true friends are gonna love you and care about you and support you and want you to be healthy no matter what. So, but it was a very interesting thing. So I wanted to just take some time to kind of talk about that. So then we had that conversation. We pulled together. Was that the week that you fell off the wagon too? It was a couple weeks after that. It was a week after, yeah. So there was also a week prior to this where Karen not only fell off the wagon, she jumped up, pushed it, and kicked it. Because you were like, I had a little bit of this and some. It was good though. It was like shit. Because I was reading it, because I was like, and I was like, right. But after that, you got back on, and then we had this conversation, and then after that, you've been totally on top of it.
It's been very difficult, definitely. I knew, because I know where I've been, you know, I've gotten to the point of, you know, getting very close and then freaking out and wanting to be more comfortable. And I think that this last time, you know, that I got to that place, I freaked out. And, you know, that something has to be done before I go. I can't go back the other way. Like, I called my sister at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And I was like, Alicia, I just can't. I can't do it. And it's the thing, it kind of kept me going.
Right.
And I think the other part of it, and I think that's one of the things people don't really talk about, is the health part. You know, we preach fitness, but really people who preach fitness, you know, their followers are in it for the vanity, generally.
Yes.
You know, you don't start to care about your physical health until, you know, you're older and you don't want to be broken or you are broken.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Right. Usually when you hear people say, I want to get healthy, they don't want to get healthy, they want to get thin, or they want to get fit, or they want to look good for a reunion or whatever. Once I started to learn about the health portion of it is when my mind completely changed, and it stopped being this thing where I have to lose X amount of pounds, which, you know, I still care about the data. I am Debbie Data, no apologies. But it has become a thing where I don't get sick. You know what I'm saying? The last time I had a cold was during a time of the downtime, and it lasted maybe 2 days. Even then, when I had, you know, after a cheat, it only lasted 2 days, and I haven't gotten sick since. And generally, I'm a person who gets sick all the time.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
You know, my body's learned to heal itself in a different kind of way. You know, I have had issues with acne forever. And, you know, the pimples have gone, and when I get them, they come, they go very quickly, because my body has learned to be cleaner. And just learning about what the food does to the body and how it kind of keeps you going, and how it is that, you know, a lot of these older women who I look at who are like 55 and like slamming, it's because, you know, of how they eat and how they care for themselves. And it's something that became, you know, more important to me than simply, you know, I gotta get X amount of pounds off, even though I'm still like, I have like 4 weeks to get to this mark, because it's a part of you. But I think learning about, but respecting the social part of it, understanding that it does exist, and deciding whether I wanted to participate in it or not, you know, was a big one. And really looking at the health part of it, you know, was another. Because I mean, to be perfectly honest, you know, I had 2 friends who both lost 100 pounds. And one of them was like, the world is different to you when you're thin. And, you know, at least I knew people they liked me for me when I was heavy. And she gave me the doom and gloom, the saddest stories. She's like, you're going to see, Karen. You're going to see. And then I had another girlfriend who was like, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous, and people who don't like it, to hell with them. Yes, she was just like, you know, you're really stupid, Karen, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm fabulous.
That's right.
And, you know, she's like, and you're crazy if you let that hold you back any longer. And, you know, that's kind of where I've gone with it. And that's kind of where I've gone with it. And it's made me more confident. And it's not necessarily because of the weight loss, but because it's something that I decided to do for myself.
Which is fantastic. And so because you are Dr. Data, and that's cool, because everybody's got their own way of handling things, their own things that motivate them, their own things that like keep them on track. I think in your case, though, what it sounds like has happened is that you now view health as a journey that never ends. We're all, you know, it doesn't end until you punch out at the end. But these are milestones kind of along the way.
Right.
So right now, and can you tell everybody how much weight you lost here? I know, it's so embarrassing.
Yes, it is. I've lost about 31 pounds.
Just like amazing, you guys. And your behaviors change.
My behaviors definitely change. You know, I carry a lunchbox or snacks in my bag. Like, I'm out of snacks for the day, but I usually carry snacks in my bag all the time. You know, I drink water like it's my job. And, you know, I am more likely to move differently. Like, it's important for me to have my workout. And it's like, well, sure, let's walk to this place instead. You know, much more mobile. But I mean, I also have, 71-year-old grandmother who still wears high heel shoes because she's mobile. And so,
and it's fabulous.
And really, yeah.
And fabulous.
So it's like, it has become a thing. Like I said, my view has completely changed. And again, like I said, I look at people who are moving and what they're doing. But, so that means carrying things in your bag for snacks, I have Holly Hobby for a boss who always has things,
Like the backpack, lunchbox, thermos.
And so I keep my own water and all these other things, you know what I mean? And it has changed the way my life moves.
Yeah.
In a very serious way. Like we usually, or used to be once upon a time, like if I went to a restaurant with somebody, if they ordered something, I would look at it like, I can't have this, and I feel bad about it. I can't have this because, I'm the fat girl who's got to lose weight. And now, I don't feel that way at all. Like my sister and I went to brunch today, and she was just like, oh yeah, so you're going to order avocado and fruit bowl, and I'm going to have my Belgian waffles. This is how we're doing things. She's like, you're going to order nuts and berries. And I'm comfortable with it. It's a thing where now my sister's like, I'm gonna eat nuts and berries for dinner then, the impression of people around me is now, well, what do I need to do to get healthier? I've become something of like their guru because I'm doing it, so you can see it.
Yeah, so you're doing it, and then you have been really amazing about sharing your knowledge with other people, because this whole health and fitness thing doesn't really work unless first you change and then you inspire somebody else to change.
Right.
And that's actually part of the reason why I wanted to develop this crew concept, because there's only one me, there's only one Karen, but if I inspire Karen and Karen inspires somebody else and that somebody else inspires somebody else, like that's how this thing can really work. And you've been really great about it's amazing to actually watch your development, researching stuff online, like really getting into it, and then sharing with people in a real way. Because we like to keep stuff like real here, and accessible, so that people can get down with it and actually do it, versus something that is totally highbrow and complicated or whatever that nobody can do. So I mean, it's been really great. I mean, it's been how many months we've been working together since September, and I'm excited because you're getting closer. Closer to the weight thing, but you're definitely there in terms of the healthy lifestyle change. Like that's really firmly, I think, entrenched in.
Definitely, because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of things, where I've been on this journey up and down for years, there's a lot of things I just didn't know. And that, understanding, what food does to the body and how it reacts to certain things. Like I was anti-carb, and I, was eating a slab of bacon every day.
I know, right? It's just like nuts, by the way, you guys. Okay,
right.
I just have to say that, nuts. Okay.
But but not understanding what things actually do. And it's like, yes, this will make your casket lighter. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's what it will do. You're thinner, but you are killing yourself in a way that I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably become the most important part. I think I'm slightly obnoxious now with my mom, with some of my family. But just understanding, what that does. And I feel like had I known some of these things, I'd have done things differently. And I just, want to share that with people, particularly women, because we live in a society that teaches us to be obsessed with our image. And we want the quickest thing, but we don't necessarily think of what's the best.
That's right.
And so I think it's imperative, to always explain what the best thing is.
Well, I think related to that, we, in general, we're a quick fix society, right? So everything is sort of like 3 steps to this, 2 steps to that, 5 minutes, get a 6-pack in 5 minutes. And really, it sometimes doesn't work, okay? So, and some things are just complete nonsense. They're not going to work at all. Some things will work short term, but then unless you're able to sustain them, which a lot of times you're not, like it's not going to continue to work. So unless you really make the shift to a lifestyle change and do things that are sustainable and create a system that's specific and unique to you to help your lifestyle change, it's not going to be something that is going to be long-term sustainable. And I think you know, for women, we are constantly caught in that sort of emotional death spiral of like, you know, you can go to any magazine rack or like Dwayne Reed or whatever, and you just see like hot chick, hot chick, hot chick, skinny chick, hot chick, skinny chick, and you're like, ooh, I don't look like that. Right. And what does that say about me? Not to mention the fact that that chick probably has been airbrushed. She probably starved herself. Like, you don't know what the backstory is to that, so living up to images that are fundamentally fake. So I think, you know, what's really great about your story, Karen, and to kind of wrap up our interview today, your journey is unique to you, but I think that there are some universal themes in there that you know, everybody has to first of all look at your life as trying to you know, benefit your life through health, and think about your life in the long term, and think about not only trying to be healthy because you want to be cute, like we're getting, you know, but because you want to have energy to like do things you want to do, be Karen, fabulous, playwright, actress, person. You want to be all of those things, and you have figured out a way to do it for you. And I think there are also some, you know, again, some universal themes in there that people can really kind of take away to make their lives better. So I guess with that, like that's our spotlight. Well, cool. Okay, I feel like we should hug or something. Is that weird? Okay, let's hug. Okay. And that has been our Natural Fitness Career Spotlight. We will have more come later in the month. Thanks. Bye.